Hey everyone, welcome to the Client Support Zoom. This is for any clients in health games or just any clients not in the health games. So anyone who wants to hop on these, make sure you invite everybody to it because it just gives you that boost. It's every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific. What is that? 8 Mountain, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Sorry, East Coast. That's how it works out. Oh, Vicki, you are a trooper. So today we had a fun little topic, and then we want to open it up to everybody on to have some takeaways and or ask questions or just give some thoughts. So I'm going to let Jared actually talk about this because my voice is kind of hurting.
Okay, so this week I want to talk about how we think about our health program. A lot of times, especially in weight loss, everybody has a few days or a week, maybe even a couple of weeks where they don't lose weight. And Take Shape for Life health coaches talk a lot about non-scale victories. And I want to kind of provide some perspective on what really good non-scale victories are versus how non-scale victories can become excuses. So good non-scale victories are still health related. So perhaps you're losing weight for a month or 2 months or whatever, and you're really consistent, and all of a sudden you hit a plateau. And now it's time to look for some other of those what we call non-scale victories. When your scale isn't moving, we start looking for inches lost, energy levels. Perhaps you're reducing or eliminating medications, things like that.
With the help of your doctor.
Right, with the help of your doctor. And some people are self-medicating. They've been medicating perhaps for diabetes, things like that, and they know how to do those things. But if you don't know, make sure you're talking to your primary care physician about those things. But some non-scale victories that clients will talk about sometimes, we need to make sure that we set those boundaries within our own minds. What is and what isn't a non-scale victory, or they become excuses for us. I'll give you an example. So perhaps I've been great, my scale isn't moving all of a sudden, and I went to a family party or a community party or something like that. And in my old life, my old habits of disease, I would have eaten a whole plate of cookies by myself. But this time, I only ate 2 cookies, right? So, but those 2 cookies, they're not part of my weight loss plan. We're not saying the cookies are bad or anything like that. Cookies can be part of a healthy maintenance long-term eating plan, but they're not going to help you lose weight. We need to cut those things out so that we balance those blood sugars and insulin response. So don't make sure that we're setting those boundaries in our own mind, depending on what your health goals are. If you're in weight loss, your non-scale victories are going to be different than congruent health plan victories and excuses. Does that make sense? We need to, it's like being a parent. You can't, and be careful also that you're not setting those boundaries after behavior, that you're setting those boundaries before, for yourself before a behavior occurs, before that family function. When you're going into that family function or social event and stuff, set those boundaries for yourself or with the help of your health coach. Talk about those things.
Uh-oh.
Damon, you're sharing screen.
Oh, sheesh.
So make sure that you are talking about those things with your health coach before an event so that you don't get there and then all of a sudden you don't know what's going on and you don't know how to deal with the issue.
Okay, we have Damon sharing his screen, and I'm trying to have him not. Let's see. Stop video. Oh, sheesh. There we go. Sorry, I just had to kick him off. I remember to lock the screen share. My bad. Yeah, no, I love what Jared was talking about. And, I wrote an email last week about my surgery. So I had a tonsillectomy 3 weeks ago and kind of had a rough recovery. But for me, I heard Jared talking about this concept and I was like, that makes a lot of sense for my recovery too. The doctor said you got to drink tons of water and eat normal food, don't baby yourself, and that will help your recovery be more quick. But I was making excuses. Oh, it hurts to swallow and this and that. But it really wasn't harmful for me to be doing those things. Versus there are other things that I legitimately couldn't do that are healthy, like I am not allowed to exercise. That increases my risk of bleeding. I think I have the green light in a few days, which I'm excited about. So there's legitimate things that I wasn't doing that wasn't necessarily excuses. That's legitimate. But it's good to just kind of be honest with ourselves and go, is this a non-scale victory? Is this an excuse? Am I making excuses, or am I being honest with myself in my own head? And not that we can all be 100% no excuse free for the rest of our lives. That's not what it's about either. We can't be perfect always.
No, it's about, like Amber said, it's about awareness. Mm-hmm. It's about being aware of what fits into our plan, and it's not just our physical health plan. It's about how we think, and if you're going for a promotion at work or things like that, and in every aspect of your life, not making excuses, but taking those things along the way and learning from those opportunities to grow versus just getting into the habit of justifying your actions, but knowing in the back of your mind that, hey, this isn't helping me progress. Because we've been reading a book by Stephen R. Covey, The Speed of Trust. And the greatest way to build trust is create results. And that starts with ourselves. When we don't produce results ourselves, and we're talking about our health, we lose trust in ourselves. So I'll give a quick example of him. He was working on a project years and decades ago, and he was working late into the night, 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And about that same time, he had set a goal right before that project started that he was going to get up at 6 a.m. and go to the gym and work out. And almost immediately, he realized that, you know what, I don't trust myself, because what did he keep doing every morning? He'd hit snooze a few times and keep sleeping. And so he adjusted his goal and said, you know what, legitimately, I can be up by 8 to go to the gym. So really quickly, every single day after he set that 8 o'clock gym time, he was going to the gym, and he quickly gained trust in himself again because he was following through with his plans. So work with your health coach as far as your, or your team leader as far as your health goals, so that you set reachable, realistic goals, so that you can trust yourself and trust your support system around you, so that you're actually creating the results that you're looking for.
Yeah, no, that's so good. Okay, we're going to open it up. I'd love to hear some takeaways, thoughts, questions, comments, anything like that. Unmute yourself, or just wave your hand at me and I can unmute you. Yay, Damon's back. Sorry, I kicked you off earlier. It was kind of like an accident, but not really. Okay, you're unmuted, Damon. Go for it.
No, I couldn't get myself on. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
I'm using a newer school laptop, and for some reason I couldn't figure out the sound.
Well, we hear you now. So any takeaways for us?
No, I really don't. My mind was set on having a surgery myself this morning, but it got postponed till Thursday. So, and then I dug up that book you're talking about. I found it at the Goodwill a couple weeks ago when Jared had mentioned it. So I have not read this yet. I'm about 100 books behind, but this is on my
You're all right.
That's awesome. I'm glad
this is the one I'm reading right now.
That's a good one too.
That's a good one too. Yep. Well, thanks for those 2 books. I mean, right there, those are great takeaways right there, is giving us 2 books that people can pick up. So we appreciate you, Damon.
Did they see it?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yep.
How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah, it's really good.
Awesome. Anyone else want to talk? Feeling like Vicky has things to say. Vicky?
I was just thinking how much this is in just all parts of our lives where with the trust things. If we say we're going to call someone and they're expecting it and they don't get a call, you know, how hard that is. It's hard when it happens to us. It's hard if it happens to a team member. And also to take that responsibility as well to not be hurt if somebody does that, as you know, does it to you, but be sensitive about how you treat other people. And I think it's very important. I just think it's very important across the board. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought this up tonight. It's good. Good subject.
Awesome. Thank you so
I
much.
needed these. Thank you.
It's so true. I mean, we could think of so many ways. I mean, with our children, you know, if we tell them, this is your consequence if you don't do this, and then they don't do it, and then we just go, it's too hard to punish them. You know, there's no trust there built. Or with, let's say you're going to take a college class, and you're committing to attending that class and studying and taking tests and doing papers or whatever it is, and then you don't do it. What does that signal to yourself? You can't trust yourself in following through with things that you take on. So that's so true, Vicki. Thank you so much for that comment. Anyone else? Greg, I feel like you have a comment. Oh, your sound isn't working. Darn it. It's not working, Greg. The sound isn't working. Well, I feel your comments just from your your lip syncing there. Anyone else have any comments? Maybe Greg will get his sound working pretty soon. All right. Yella, you want to say anything? You're unmuted.
On Nonscale victories?
Yeah.
Well, thinking about it, it's had a client lost 20 pounds in his first week, and he congratulated himself by going to Bethos. By getting a big breakfast burritos for losing 20 pounds. Just because, you know, I get in the same thing. You know, I achieve something healthy wise, and then I treat myself with an unhealthy decision, and I always beat myself up after. But it's not about, you know, rewarding myself with unhealthy things. That's the keys. You know, we gotta just keep going to a real non-scale victory.
Yep.
That brings up a great point. Is help the people around you understand. One of the greatest ways of and understanding good non-scale victories is establishing good, healthy rewards. So share those healthy rewards that you do for yourself and for clients or team members in the challenge and stuff. Share those things with everybody so that they have ideas also that, hey, when I lose 20 pounds, it's not about going and getting pizza or a huge burrito, that it's about doing things that are going to perpetuate health in my life.
Yeah. And I think that also, you know, sometimes we're all on a journey, right? And we're not here to beat each other up if we did something or rewarded ourselves with cupcakes or, you know what I mean? Like, that's not what it's about either. But really, it's the awareness that Jared was talking about earlier, just being aware of that. Like, oh my goodness, I can think of a time in the past where I've rewarded myself with burritos or cupcakes or something, and going, oh, I didn't even think of it. I didn't even think that was a habit that I wanted to break. or, so it's that awareness that's really going to help us in all areas of our life, including our health. So, well, anyone else have things they want to say? Greg's trying to talk again. Not coming through, Greg. I'm sad too, because he always has really good things to say. All right. Well, thanks for being on, guys. We are at the end of our Zoom, and we really appreciate everyone who had comments and things to say. All of us just being on together strengthens each other, and we sure appreciate you. And let's have a great week. Let's get out there and let's help other people, and let's help ourselves get more healthy. So thanks for being on, guys.
Have a good week.
See ya.